Today is April 18th, and the Dodgers look to get back in the winning column against the Mets as they set up for this game 2 of a 3-game set. Before we get into the lineups and the pitching matchups, one quick note. Mookie Betts was placed on paternity leave today, so congratulations to him as he and his wife welcome their second child into the family. But unfortunately, you will not see Mookie in the lineup today, so we will have to do without Mookie. On the mound for the Dodgers, we have Clayton Kershaw, who in his career is about 10-0 against the Mets or something like that. He's kind of just owned them. But without Mookie Betts or Will Smith in the lineup, he's really going to have to turn it on today. The Dodgers are going to rely heavily on production from him if they're going to have a shot at winning this game. And then Tyler McGill is on the bump for the New York Mets. He's only been in the league for a few years, but from what we know, he's a fastball, slider, changeup, and he will occasionally show a curve. His fastball sits 94, and he's got a slider that's going to dive away from right-handed batters, making him a very tough at-bat, and I'll touch on how tough that is later. He throws an 88-mile-an-hour changeup to lefties to try to induce some swing and miss. That's going to dive low and away as well from left-handed bats. And he's had a very good start to the year. He's given up 4 earned runs over 16 innings pitched for a 2.25 ERA. As I mentioned before, he's tough against right-handed batters. And how tough is that? He's giving up a 554 OPS against right-handed batters. That is very good. On the other side of that, though, he's giving up a 944 OPS against left-handed batters. So there's a left-handed heavy lineup. Before we get into the lineup, though, I do want to talk about the bullpen really fast, just because I want to talk a little bit at length about this lineup. The bullpen, tonight we should see some combination of Gratterall, Phillips, Ferguson, and or Almonte. They're all available. Would have loved to see Phillips in last night in the 8th, but can't always get what you want. So those are some guys that you should expect to see. Hopefully we get like 6 to 7 out of Kershaw, and then they bring in, we get a good outing from Gratterall and then Phillips to close things up. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to see. But, that all stems on how good Kershaw is today, or hopefully how not well the Mets bats see Kershaw. All right, let's take a look at this lineup, because for the first time, we have a little bit of a shakeup. With Mookie Betts being out on paternity leave, we have James Outman leading things off for the first time in his career, and he's playing center field. Freddie Freeman's behind him at first base. JD Martinez is batting third and DHing. Max Muncy is batting cleanup at third base. Jason Hayward is going to be in right field, replacing Mookie defensively. Miguel Vargas is at second base. David Peralta is in left field. Miguel Rojas is in short, and then Barnes is doing the catching tonight and batting ninth. For the Mets, Brandon Nimmo's leading things off. Starling Marte's in right field. Francisco Lindor's at shortstop. Pete Alonso's at first base. Same top four as they've pretty much had all year. It's been the same top four. Mark Canha's in left field. Jeff McNeil's at second base, batting sixth. Batting seventh, we have Tommy Pham in center field. Eduardo Escobar, the switch hitter, is getting a start tonight at third base. No Brett Beatty, I imagine, because the Dodgers have a left-hander on the mound. And then Thomas Nido will be doing the catching again. And like I said before, Tyler McGill is on the bump. I want to talk about James Outman batting leadoff, because I think this is a sneaky, amazing idea. Let's just take a look at some of Outman's stats right now. He's third on the team in on-base percentage with a 414. He's sitting behind Will Smith and Freddie, but not by much. I think Will Smith's is like 417 and Freddie's is 416, so they're all kind of clustered together, like right at the top three. He's third on the team with 10 walks. Interesting about that is the only guys he's behind have about 20 more at-bats than James Outman does, so he is taking his walks. He is being very competitive at the plate. He leads the team in triples with 3, but only has 1 double so far. He has the team's only 2 steals on the year, and this is all being done with absolutely no one behind him to defend him. I think at best it's Miguel Vargas who sits behind James Outman, but now he gets Freddie Freeman to sit behind him. And that's pretty exciting. And what does this all mean? Even without Freddie being batting behind him, and in my best Jonah Hill voice, what does this mean? He gets on base. And on top of that, he's shown he can move on the base paths. It's kind of like your ideal leadoff hitter. He can get on base. He's good on the base paths. Unless, of course, you have someone like an Aaron Judge who can just hit bombs, but I don't even think the Yankees are leading him off that much this year. Anyway, this is a bit Dodgers channel, so let's continue the Dodgers talk. And I just love this idea of James Outman getting the opportunity to lead off. And at the same time, I wouldn't hate it if Vargas got the same opportunity because he doesn't have quite the average, quite the pop that Outman's got in his bat, but he leads the team in walks, and he's also very fast on the base path. So at the same token, he gets on base, he's quick on the base paths. So I love the idea of giving one of these young guys that chance. Why? Well, there was talks earlier in the year about Mookie maybe moving away from that leadoff spot and putting him in more of a run producing role. And they shied away from it, and Dave just straight out and came out and said, well, the only way we can move Mookie away from batting leadoff is if the Dodgers have an answer. And the Dodgers don't have an answer. And frankly, they didn't seem all too keen on exploring an answer. Well, with Mookie on paternity leave, the Dodgers are now being forced to look for an answer. I don't know how long Mookie's going to be gone for paternity leave. So maybe this is a 1-2 game situation, and then Mookie's back with the team in Chicago. Who knows? But the Dodgers are forced to being looking into a new leadoff hitter for the time being. And if Mookie's batting, and I think Mookie is better suited for a run-producing role at this stage in his career. He's not as quick on the base paths as he used to be. He's hitting for more power. I think he tied his career, or he broke his career single-season home run with 35 last year. So he's hitting for more power. He put on 9 pounds of muscle. Everyone made a big deal about that. But, it shows that he's trying to get a little bit bigger and, bat to ball and really drive the ball. That helps when you've got a guy in front of you. So, if you get a James Outman who realistically could score from first, you get Mookie who hits a double, all of a sudden we're up 1-0, and it looks very similar to a Dodgers team last year who, on the best day, Trey Turner would hit an infield single, and then Freddie would come up, smack a double, and Trey's in from first, and all of a sudden the Dodgers are up 1-0. So I like that for Mookie a lot. I like that for the Dodgers a lot. And the biggest reason I like this is because it pushes that entire lineup down one. Whether it's Mookie batting second or Freddie batting second, they can figure that out as a team. They'll decide what's best. Dodgers love their lefty righty. They love like lefty righty integrity. They love alternating. So you could go James Outman, Mookie, Freddie, Will Smith, then bats cleanup. And one of the best ideal cleanup guys because he's a tough at bat, great power, smokes the ball every time he hits it. So, he's a great, cleanup hitter. And then you can get, Max Muncy batting fifth, and then JD Martinez could be batting sixth or vice versa. And all of a sudden the pressure's off them to really be the run producers. And that JD Martinez signing looks pretty good if he's all of a sudden batting sixth because the Dodgers have a different guy batting leadoff, and that, like I said, that lineup shifts down. I think it's really exciting, and I hope to God this works, because I think if James Outman, who's been good against lefties, righties, he's been good against both handednesses of pitchers, if that's even a word, if he can continue to do well, and he shows that he can handle the leadoff spot and maybe just put the bat on the ball and just get it in play, because when he gets the ball in play, more times than not, it feels like it lands. He hits the ball so dang hard that it finds grass, or the outfielders or infielders don't have a chance to react to it. He's hitting it so hard. So he doesn't have to swing for as much power. But if he's putting the ball in play, Mookie's hitting double, or Freddie's hitting a double, or at least giving Will Smith a chance, I think that really lengthens this lineup and really gives the Dodgers a much more potent first inning offense to really try and jump on a lead. Because with the bullpen behaving the way it has, and performing the way it has recently, I think the Dodgers need to have a lead, and a cushiony one, because no lead feels like it's safe, and that also takes a lot of pressure off the bullpen. So all that said, this is all conjecture. This is all dependent on if James Outman can perform in the leadoff spot. Who knows? All I know is there are two distinct facts here, and they're undeniable. James Outman can hit the dang ball, and he can do it very well, and he does it at a high rate. And he's done it with no protection behind him, so he's not getting the cleanest of pitches. They're just trying to get him to chase, and he doesn't do it. So now, you put that production, and now he's got protection at the top of the lineup. I think this could be something, and I hope it really could turn into something, because I think this is the kind of change that the Dodgers could need and be looking for to really jumpstart this offense. Let me know what you think about James Outman moving to that leadoff role. Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you have any sort of opinion one way or another, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see what other Dodger fans think about this. And that's all I've got for today. So I will see everybody tomorrow.